All right. With that, we advance to, again, another interesting discussion on Web3, which is rapidly shaping next generation of the World Wide Web, or the internet technology as we know it today. With blockchain at its base, decentralized applications at the core, and cryptocurrency-based user interfaces, Web3 has the potential to disintermediate and consolidate processes for highest cost efficiencies and lowest response time. And India is at the heart of this perfect storm with more than 500 plus startups in its ecosystem. May I now invite, to tell us more about it, may I now invite Ms. Namita Jain, Practice Lead, Digital Transformation at Nasscom Insights. Please give her a very warm welcome, guys.
Thank you, everyone. I know I have a burden to make this interesting because I come after a very insightful panel discussion on Web3. But this is something that Nasscom Insights, the Nasscom research team, is going to launch very soon. This is going to be our first study on Web3, a look into the Web3 India startup market, the landscape that exists today, and the opportunities that are shaping up for India for the global market when it comes to Web3. But more than that, what are we going to do in the study? We're going to look at what is Web3. And as I was walking up, it was interesting for me to connect the dots from yesterday. There was an interesting session on digital identity and verifiable credentials by Hypermine and DSCI. It was a very interesting conversation and a peek into how a single digital identity document can literally democratize everything that we do. No more credentialing at every site, at every place. And Dr. Rajashekaran spoke about how things can transform in healthcare. So I was just thinking, imagine you go to a small clinic when you get fever. You go to a larger hospital for surgeries. You are enrolled in the government healthcare systems. You also are enrolled to a gym and maybe a yoga or Pilates classes. All of these places require some amount of information about you, right? All of these information sources are disconnected, completely disparate, and they don't talk to each other. Even EHRs don't. Now, one single digital identity that you control, the information that you control, what you show to your yoga instructor is not the same as what you show to your cardiac surgeon, as what you show to, let's say, your physician. All of these are within your control with one single digital identity. That's the kind of use case, that's the kind of imagination that we can apply to Web3 on the base of blockchain. These are very, very nascent stages as the panel discussed, and that is what the Nasscom study is trying to do, trying to understand what is the space of Web3 from a startup perspective. What are the startups, the 500 plus startups in India, what are they doing? Where are they putting their bets? Is it about decentralized finance? Is it about enterprise solutions? Decentralized autonomous organizations? Is it about metaverse and creating NFT-based play-to-earn models? Where are they putting their focus? Where are they putting their energies? And how is the startup ecosystem thinking about it? We all know that there's a lot that has happened in the last couple of years, and the study goes into literally credentialing everything that has happened. But what's interesting and important is how blockchain has taken shape. From a technology that was contested by all, governments, non-governments, to now a much bigger recognition of blockchain and distributed ledger technology as an important technology that can disintermediate a lot of the processes that exist today, that can decentralize a lot of the authority that exists today. So it's very exciting for us also as the first foray into the space. And we are looking at how Web 2 and Web 3 will be different. What is it about Web 3 that will be different from Web 2 in terms of user ownership, in terms of autonomous transactions, in terms of disintermediated processes, particularly disintermediated financial services. There was an interesting conversation that happened in the panel that, and I remember we started the day with somebody commenting, is Web 2 really over? We are already talking Web 3, and in the online spaces, we are already talking Web 5. But what we've discovered in multiple conversations is there is something called Web 2.5. It's not a term that we recognize, but more the concept where we make Web 3 really applicable for the masses. A lot of us would not want complete control over our identity. We don't have the time. A lot of us don't know how to use digital tools, technologies, devices, means and mediums very effectively. We don't know how to manage ourselves in the digital space. What is the solution for people like those who don't want to do that? Probably something that is a little less disintermediated, that is somewhat permissioned, but on a blockchain. So we are looking at the space that we are trying to call Web 2.5, but essentially the idea of how we make Web 3 really applicable and scalable from the get-go, from now on. And finally, the study actually goes into a lot of discussion about how the startups are thinking about this space. We surveyed a lot of them. We spoke to a lot of them. There are going to be many, many detailed case studies about a variety of startups across a variety of use cases. But one thing that we definitely wanted to touch upon was how do we grow this ecosystem at a much rapid pace in India before India loses out on the strengths that it has, the digital talent, the fact that we have the fastest growing digital talent space, the fact that we have governance systems who are trying to put sandboxes with blockchain. I just read that the Telangana government has set up a Web 3.0 Center of Excellence, and that just happened today. It was announced today. I'm sure a lot of other governments are going to follow up on this when they realize that blockchain and Web 3 are much beyond cryptocurrencies and cryptocurrency trading. And political will and regulations was one of the biggest factors that came across as the biggest hindrance. So what can we do? The study goes into a lot of discussion about how can the ecosystem come together and work together to make this space really one that India can lead in the next 5 to 10 years. So the study will be launching soon, in probably about 4 to 5 weeks, and I would encourage everyone to download it from our community and our main websites. It's going to be a free study, and this is just the starter. We want to invite everybody to engage with us, communicate with us on this particular topic to make this a lot more effective for India. Thank you.